There are 3 points on the foot that you want to make sure you have contact with the ground for optimal stability: the base of the big toe, the base of the little toe, and the center of the heel. This forms a triangle, like a tripod, for optimal stability. You're going to also need a TheraBand tied around something sturdy and heavy, like a couch. You want to make sure the knot is good and tight because we're going to be pulling the band to its max. This is important for establishing the proper stability that we want at the foot. So first, before we get started, let's warm up the feet. So just kind of switch back and forth. So we're stretching the bottom of our feet right now. Warm up the toes, even the calves and the lower leg. Now kind of windshield wiper style. Move your heel inward and outward, stretching out the bottoms of your toes, the feet, and the ankle. And we'll switch to the other side. Want to make sure before doing any movement that we're nice and warm, we're getting the blood flowing, and we're waking up the area we're about to put to work. This is just to establish neurological connections, so just lift your big toes, put it down, lift the rest of your toes. We're going to do it for about 5 seconds here. Hold up the big toes as best you can, and hold up all the little toes. Now 4 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, and 1, and switch. You should easily be able to do this, switching back and forth, and notice how my ankles are staying quite sturdy. I'm not rotating my foot inward and rotating it outwards to cheat to lift the toes. It's very important to establish the strength underneath the arch of the foot by doing this exercise. You can do this one multiple times throughout the day. Now, this video is focused on fixing or helping to correct an ankle that falls inward and a foot that falls inward. So when you're putting the band around your foot, it's very important that you put it on the outside so that the band has a tendency to pull your foot inward. Therefore, you have to use the muscles to avoid that from happening, because we are trying to correct it from going inward, and therefore we want it to be pulled inward so that we try to establish that strength that way. So try to keep those 3 points of contact on the floor, and you're going to try to scrunch your toes very slightly to establish. So we're trying to get and make an arch right underneath the foot. So because I do not have flat feet, it looks like my foot is turning too far outward and my ankle is curving. However, if you have flat feet, when you do this, it's going to help to establish a more neutral and quote unquote normal foot position. So try to really get that arch up. Try to resist the band from pulling you more inward. Feel those 3 points of contact on the floor constantly. And now, as best you can, try to shift your weight onto that particular foot you have an issue with, and really focus on maintaining those 3 points of contact evenly. And if you can, even lift the toes from the floor. Stay really balanced and try not to let your ankle fall inward. Make sure to breathe and continue to concentrate on those 3 points on your foot. Do not let your hip drop. You want your hips to stay even, and do not excessively lift your hip. You want your hips to stay even. This works on the gluteus medius muscle and helps to keep the foot in proper alignment. Now step forward and toe off and step back and lift your toes. So what we're doing here is we're trying to work on the foot mechanics by just shifting back and forth, trying to keep the foot in alignment, not giving into the resistance band by letting the band pull our foot inward. The videos here that I make on this YouTube channel are progressive, meaning that it starts off easier and gradually gets harder and harder throughout the video. So if at any time you need a break or you find it's getting too difficult for you, pause the video and try again in the next day or so. Our goal here in this community is to work on improving. Our goal is not perfection, it's progress. Now take a step back, let your heel fall, the back foot, let your heel fall, and we're just going to slightly work on the control of our knee now. So we're just going to be doing quarter lunge here, and now twisting our body, opening it up and closing it. This is trying to incorporate multi-dimensional movements. So we have to focus now on the ankle and keeping the knee over the foot as we're moving and opening our body. So focus on those 3 points of contact, keeping the knee controlled, staying where it is, right over top of the middle of the foot, trying not to let the knee come excessively inwards as you rotate your body and open it up. Now, I am quite flexible from being a dancer, so if that is too much movement for you or you cannot twist, just give yourself some time and do what you can. And we're about to perform basic lunges here. Our goal is to do this in a very slow and controlled manner where we can easily concentrate on keeping those 3 points of contact on the floor evenly. That is the biggest thing here, because if we know that's even and there isn't excessive amounts of pressure being put on the inside of our foot, we know that our muscles are really working in our feet to maintain that tripod type stance in the foot. So try to maintain an upright chest. Try to keep the knee relatively over the ankle. It will slightly go over the ankle. And just give yourself a little bit of a break here. Now we're going to be doing a side lunge here. So we want to focus on our hips moving back. So really try to get those hips back. And if this is too much of a lunge for you, again, just focus on a quarter side lunge where you're not sinking as deep into this movement. You're just doing what you can. Now it's important here, again, that we maintain those 3 points of contact. We're not letting that foot come in like I just demonstrated. And we're keeping the knee as best we can over the foot. This is now working on a different two-dimensional movement to keep the foot on track with where it needs to be when we're moving and doing our other activities throughout the day. Constantly repeat to yourself in your head to maintain those 3 points of contact. And if at any point you need a break because you're starting to feel the muscles become tired, do that, because quality trumps quantity. Now we're just going to finish off with balancing work and doing what's called clock movement. So we just touched 4, 5, and 6 o'clock, and try for the 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And repeat that again, and you can do a little bit more knee movement. Trying to control the knee, keeping it right over the toes here. Maintaining those 3 points of contact. Doing your best to complete and touch all numbers around this imaginary clock that you see on the floor. So now we're just going to finish off with toe scrunches. So we're thinking in our minds, we're creating a bridge or an arch with our feet by curling our toes flat underneath. And I'm going to show you in different angles here. As we kind of walk side to side, you can see that arch that I'm creating. And you can just do this on a spot. I'm just turning side to side because as I'm rotating, I'm also using different muscles to make this happen. But if this is at all too difficult for you right now, you can just maintain them scrunched. And then if that's too easy, you can start to just go back and forth, side to side. And this would be the last level where you rotate back and forth to work on even finer movements of these muscles. You can do this multiple times a day as well. If you do this, make sure to stretch it out by doing similar work that we did at the beginning to warm up the feet and stretch them out. So thank you guys for watching this video and completing this video. This is great work to do after an ankle injury or any injury at the foot to reestablish proprioception and balance and coordination and other kinesthetic abilities that are sometimes lost with ankle injuries and foot injuries. If you know anyone in your life who would benefit from this video just like you know you are, please tag them in this video or share this video with them. And as always, if you have any requests for videos for me to release in the future, please leave that in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe because once you do, you'll be notified of every single new video that I release in the future. Thank you for your support.